we're back. We're back again. Not for another unboxing. Well, it sort of is an unboxing. It's more of a continuation of my last video, the Cavalex Class 60. Obviously the video was so long anyway with the history and obviously running around with the 30 odd tankers. I decided to split it up a little bit. So in this one, I am going to do the weigh-in. I'm going to show you the inside as well of the actual Loco. And what else? I'm probably not going to fit blinds, but I'll explain why later on. But we're also joined, so we have one Class 60. Oh look, Christmas has come late or early. Another Class 60. This top one is not mine. This is a friend got in contact with me. You know who he is. His name is Rob. So a massive thank you to Rob. If you don't know who he is the one who allowed me to buy his EWS Revolution Trains tankers off him. He bought quite a few and he said, look, Martin, I understand that you don't have any or anything like that. Or did I have one? I can't remember. And he said, look, here you go, you can have some of these. So obviously I paid for them, just to clarify. He also got into 5-inch gauge as well. So he's moved up in the world, if you want to put it that way. But he'd already pre-ordered this one before he did. So his layout is, well, it's chock-a-block with obviously various 5-inch gauge stuff and things like that. So he said, Martin, if you want to borrow it, do a little video on it. And just to make sure it runs in, or run it in and make sure it's not too noisy. So obviously there is a slight issue with them, but I will go into that more later on. So I will show you his Loco first, but before I do, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's liked, subscribed and viewed the videos, and obviously if you've left a comment, I shall get back to you very, very soon. And secondly, it wouldn't be the same without a good cup of tea. So cheers. Oh, good cup of tea. Right, let's see what it is. Right, what do we have? There we go. Obviously, it's the usual stunning box, so I won't spend too much time on it. This is, as far as I'm aware, this is actually a Super 60. So this actually went through the program of what DB Schenker done of making it more reliable via the electronics. And also mechanically as well. So this is actually a genuine Super 60. So there we go. Obviously the usual paperwork, this hasn't changed, but look at this. There you go, the beautiful Colas Rail. Right, this is out of its box. And then what we're going to do, I'll take it off the plinth. There we go. Now I'm going to put this on the track and I'll show you a little montage of it. Right, back to this one. I'll show you, another thing I'll show you is how to take the snow plows off. There we go. Just need to, there we go. That is how easy it is. So obviously you have the magnets in there, and I'll show you in a close-up of where they clip onto. There we go, look at that. So it's this here and this here. This is where the magnets clip onto. And obviously that is made out of metal and that is molded onto the chassis. So it's an incredible design and very, very easy. Obviously you'll just replace it with the one with the hole in it, but obviously I already have that. Let's put the coupling down. There we go. It's as simple as that. Regarding the snowplows, so this is the one with the cutout. So I did mention in my previous video, because I actually got this off a guy called Julian. He ended up cutting just this. Let's see if I can be steady enough. There you go. That little bit of flashing right on the edge there. There we go. Along there. That's where he cut it. Just so the coupling doesn't get stuck. It just prevents it from moving freely. So he just trimmed along there. So like this one. Let's see if I can. There we go. So there we go. So just in there, I trimmed it back. So this now, there we go, moves perfectly. And this is another view. This is another view of obviously the back. There you go. That is how easy. That is how easy it is to come off. There you go. I'm looking through the camera, so you can see. There you go. As easy as that. Right, moving to the bogies. Right, so if you don't know, this, believe it or not, the pickups are on the outside of the wheels. There you go. You see the brass. There you go. You see it there. It's all-wheel pickup, and it is really incredible because this is where the real bearings would be. So it's not on the inside where you've got wire strips touching the back of the wheels. They're actually housed within the pickups themselves. And also, for the ones that don't know, this centre wheel is a floating axle. You might be thinking, Martin, that ain't going to pull anything. Well, if you haven't seen my last video of the actual unboxing and everything with the history, etc., etc., I had it pulling 31 TEA tankers. 26 of them were from Revolution trains and 5 of them were from Cavalex, and it didn't have an issue. And that was around my brother's layout. Now his radius of curves are probably about, oh blimey, maybe 2 feet. So 4 feet completely across, but obviously to the centre of the curve is 2 feet. So it is quite a tight corner. Obviously it's not a high speed corner or anything like that, and it didn't have an issue. So for the ones that might be thinking, oh, it's not going to pull a lot, it does, trust me. Moving further out, also have the fuel tank in the middle. We have the twin air compressors, but because this has got the extended fuel tank, which is there, the main air reservoir got moved to inside. And obviously, with a new Loco, we have to have the Loco weigh-in. So here we go. I didn't take the shell off. I'll take the shell off in a sec. So this is a sound-fitted Loco, so it's going to probably be a little bit heavier. There you go, 688 grams. Right, remove the shell. Obviously, you just pry the shell away from here and here, because this is where the 4 clips are. And hopefully, there we go. Oh, it's worked its way out already. There we go. Voila. There you go. So what do you think? This is what it's like with the shell off. You have the beautiful detail of the air or clean air compartment. You have the main air reservoir, obviously because it can't go underneath because of the extended fuel tank. All the wires you've got right at the front going to the lights. You have to remember this also has flashing hazard lights as well. Also have pogo sticks to get power up to the cab lights as well. And obviously you have the dual speaker. I don't know what type of speaker this is. I don't really know my speakers or anything like that. So obviously if you do know, please let me know. And I'm sure it can be improved. I mean, I adore the sound of this Loco. It really is absolutely incredible. You also have the 21-pin ESU Locksound V5 chip in there. And it honestly, just the combination is just phenomenal. And it shows what can be done when you put time and effort into the sound of a Loco and what you can achieve from it as well. You also have the sensor as well at both ends. I think it's at both ends. No, it's actually probably just one end, to be honest with you. And this is to trigger the flange squill. And obviously you have the other pogo sticks at the other end and the beautifully detailed cabs as well. Now, the blinds of the Loco. Right, so here we go. So we have, there we go, this tiny little bit of plastic. There we go. I'm sure we'll get it to focus in. Oh, well, we can't. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, so this little bit of plastic, and it has two little lugs on there, and all they do is fit. We'll actually put it into this one. So the cab come out with that one. Not that it's not broke or anything like that, just to clarify. So let's see if we can do this. So in here we have two little holes. So see if I can. We have one hole there, and another one is just there. So if you can just see that on the camera, there we go. There we go. Yep. So there's one hole, and you obviously have the other hole there. So the blind will literally just clip onto that. So you have to take the cab out. The cab does actually is supposed to stay onto the chassis, but it doesn't really matter. And there you go. I mean, you can glue it on, and I probably will do actually. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now I've tried to get these blinds in. I will leave it because obviously I don't know if this will potentially be sent back at all or anything like that. But let me zoom in. So what you might be able to see is, let me brighten the picture up a bit. There we go. Right, so this, there we go. So this, that there does get in the way. So without physically cutting it or anything like that, it will struggle to go in. So yeah, so I will leave it out. So it can go in, but as you can see, it just needs to be trimmed a little bit. It might even have to be cut in half. Not that it would matter, because both of them have a locating lug in them anyway. So yeah, so for me, I will leave them off. Let's go through the CVs of the Class 60. So F0 is your daytime lights on. F1 is the prime mover. That's the engine start. So if you push that 3 times, it will do a failed start, and then it will do a cold start. Honestly, that sounds incredible. It really does. F2, this is with F25 off. You have 2-tone horn and dynamic brake as well. F2, with the F25 on, you have the independent brake. I don't think I've actually used that, to be fair. F3 is the high air horn. F4 is the low air horn. F5 is the drive lock. Now the drive lock, this is just the magic key to everything. This is what I feel, because I use this so much. So if you put drive lock on, basically it's like a brake. This is how I treat it. I treat it as a brake. So if I put it onto full power with drive lock on, you can hear the engine rev up. And if you push drive lock, let's say you take it off, it will let the train move forward slowly. You put it back on, it will hold it back on at that speed, and then you just continue that until you get to the desired speed. But you'd also have full engine revs, sounding like it's almost like on a heavy train mode. So it's very similar to that. I mean, so yeah, it's very good. F6 with F25 off is heavy train mode. I actually, like I say, I don't actually really use F25, to be honest with you. F6 with F25 on is manual notching down. F7 with F25 off is the manual flange squill. A lot of the time I think they do cut in under a certain miles an hour. So, and F7 with F25 on is manual notching up. So are you still with me? Good. F8 is red tail lights. So this is if you're running light loco. F9 is night lights. F10 is yard mode. So again, I think it's just the side lights. F11 is the engine room lights. The advantage with the engine room lights on, you also hear the engineer or the driver go through the doors and physically turn the lights on. It's honestly, it's incredible. And when they leave the room, when you push it again, they leave the room and you hear them turning the lights off and shutting the door behind them. Honestly, it's stunning. F12, you have the Spirex valve. So the Spirex valves, if I'm wrong, please correct me, is the little valves that sit on the bottom of the air tanks to allow the water to escape, so you don't have large amounts of water sitting in the air tank. F13, stabling lights. F14, shunt mode. F15 is coupler clank. F16 is cab light. Obviously that turns on depending on which way your direction is pointing. So if you're going cab end 1 first, then obviously that will illuminate, and then I think that will go out as you start driving. F17 is automatic flange squirrel isolator. F18 is the AWS. Talking about the AWS, I got it onto my video when I was down my brother's house, when I was filming down there with the full length train. I managed to get the driver to walk through the doors, so the outer door, the inner door, and then somehow or other I managed to get them to sit down. No, you hear them sitting down, but you hear them putting the master key in, the AWS kick in, and obviously they cancel it. And I wasn't too sure how I'd done it, actually, to be fair. I think that was by luck. So honestly, it sounds incredible. When you get it all working, it's really, really good. F19, so if you want to make it quieter, so that will just shut the sound down, but you can still play with the Loco. F20 is the compressor, F21 is the emergency brake, and F22 is the hazard warning lights. That's right, hazard warning lights. So F23 is cab in, so the driver enters the cab. F24 is the cab out, so the driver leaves the cab. So obviously it's the doors in reverse. F25 is manual notching logic, so obviously that's to do with these up here, so that just changes the functions of those buttons. F26 is apply, release, park brake. F27 is the fire alarm bell. F28 is disabled brakes set, release automatic. Again, I haven't tried these. F29 is compressed air let off. F30 is the sander on, and F31 radiator fans on or off. So going on the basis of that, honestly, when let me find it. When you read this, honestly, it really does make it an incredible experience. It really does. It's all here. I think when you get to know it and you know what the numbers are, it does make it a lot easier. It's a lot to take in, but when you get to learn it, it is absolutely phenomenal. So you need to read it. Now, to pop the shell back on, there you go. So that is the LED light for the cab, and obviously you have one at the other end. And then to pop it back on, you just gently, obviously you have the clips on the shell, so you just have to pry it open. There we go. There we go. Bosh. Now you don't want to see the Colas Rail sitting on the track. You want to hear these. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run these round with no sound. So just to show you how, I don't think mine are bad at all, actually, because I have heard worse. Like I say, this one is probably more. It is more noisier than the Colas Rail than Rob's one. Also going on the basis that obviously the boards that I'm running it on, so my brother's layout, it's quite hollow underneath, so it does sort of echo. It does make it sound worse than probably what it actually is. Like I say, I've had zero issues of running this Loco. In fact, both Locos run superbly. Honestly, they really do run faultlessly. Absolutely incredible. Like I say, obviously if there is a noise, that means there is some resistance there, so I don't want to cause too much damage. So if there was an opportunity to replace it, I possibly would, to be honest with you, because obviously I will end up using these a lot more, so I don't want any more damage to be done, if that makes sense, continuously running it or anything like that. So yeah, so I'm gonna play a little couple of short clips of my one running around, and then I'll do the Colas Rail one, and then I'll do the Colas Rail on a freight train. So sit back and relax. There you go. What do you think? It looks absolutely stunning. The livery is absolutely beautiful. Like I say, it was a little bit unexpected because I didn't realise he obviously rang us up and said, look, you know, if you want to borrow it, make a film out of it. Also see how it sounds as well in terms of the possibly gearbox issues. It's actually quieter. Running on here, it's actually quieter. As you heard, it does sound quieter than actually my one, 6010. Would I consider getting it replaced? I mean, if they had one and obviously it was absolutely silent, then I probably would, to be honest with you. And the only reason is because obviously if it's making a noise, it means there's obviously some resistance in there. So I wouldn't want to cause too much damage or anything like that. So I think watch this space. I did ring up Rouser Sheffield for another order, for a different order, and they said obviously they're all in talks and things like that. So so everybody's on the case and things like that. Obviously it just takes time to resolve. The livery of the Loco just looks absolutely incredible. It really does. And for the ones that don't know, the chrome tankers, they are the silver bullet tankers from Daypole. So there is 14, I think there is 14 on now, I lost count, on there. And yeah, and it's actually the first time I've actually run these behind a train. Like I say, I wasn't expecting to run them because obviously I wasn't expecting to borrow his Loco. So a massive thank you to Rob. Thank you, Rob, for that. Much appreciated. Obviously, my Loco isn't pulling the 31 TEA tankers, and a massive thank you to Revolution Trains for commenting on my last video. So they basically said that the train that I replicated would have come from like Kingsbury Oil Refinery and Lindsay. I'll put it on the screen, and it wouldn't have had 31 tankers. It would have had 32. That's right. So yeah, so and another massive thank you to Rob, because he actually said to me, he goes, Martin, if that's the case, you can have this for 40 quid. So yeah, so he gave me another tanker. So now I have 32 tankers, so now I can replicate it properly. So like I say, a massive thank you to Rob for allowing me to borrow his train. Will this all get resolved? Yes, I'm pretty sure it will. Of course it will. They can't not. So like I say, would I get mine replaced? I think I possibly would. So, but we'll wait and see. We'll see how it goes. So if you've enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like and a subscribe. And obviously, if you want to leave a comment, please feel free. And a massive thank you to my brother for allowing me to run my trains round. His wagons. So these wagons, these JGA wagons, are actually a Bachmann item, and he's sprayed them up into DB Schenker red, and it looks absolutely stunning. And I think he has done a video, and it's coming out very, very soon on them. So he's done it as a rake of 7 was that 2, 4, 6, 7? Yeah, 7 wagons. So the centre wagons have knuckle couplings, and it looks absolutely incredible. And the Tilka wagons at the back, he's done exactly the same as well. So he's running knuckle couplings in the middle. So he's doing a video on them, and I think by the time this goes out, it might already be out, but his links are down below. So please check out his channel. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. See you later.